Pisces, I'm OMG Tarot, and this is your romantic love reading for December. So we're going to see what comes up in this holiday season. And we're going to start with the romantic angels. This is going to be a little more in-depth than anything, but mostly we're going to go over what you need to know about, and we'll see who comes up and what is happening, what the situation is. Now, this is not going to resonate for everyone, but if it does, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. And if this does resonate, great. Great. Alright, so here we go. Here's what you need to know from the romance angels. Your first card is True Love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So already, whoever it is that is popping up is making their presence known in your reading, that this is the real deal. This is true love, the romantic relationship of a lifetime. You may have experienced some separation with this person at some point. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So, I mean, if you guys are going through that, and if it's happened in the past, this may have been the best thing. It may have given you time to think, this other person time to think, and the separation of it all is what is leading to this true love. It's all part of the equation of true love. Right? And finally, past life relationship. You have known each other before. Now you know that this person is familiar. They feel familiar. They felt familiar from the first time you met them. You didn't have to explain a lot. That's usually something that people find culturally when they have somebody culturally in common with them. There's a lot that you don't have to really explain. But also, this is just like, forget about culturalness. That's just an example. You just have that feeling of familiarity with this person, like as if you don't have to explain your origin story to them, like your paths intertwine. So that is definitely a true love type situation, especially with this person. You'll feel that the separation will actually help this relationship, even if it is painful. Let's look at the archetype that comes up for this situation. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So we have a jumper, and I already flipped this card, so we'll pull two. The first card is Mentor. Their light attributes: easing the pain. No, I can't read. Passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. And their shadow attributes are inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction. So that's a little bit of manipulation here, but we can keep that in mind with the mentor card, that this person may be somebody you look up to, or they may be seeing you as someone that they look up to as the example of how they want to be. And then we have the Virgin card. This card was flipped before this guy dropped, or at the same time. The light attributes are maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Shadow attribute, fear of intimate union. Another reason to separate is I'm not experienced, I'm not sure, but I feel like, these two archetype cards definitely speak to the view of each other. Like, one of you may see the other as a mentor, as somebody that they strive to be, and that could work both ways. It could be like, oh, I admire you, I adore you, or it could be, ooh, I'm not at your level, I feel insecure about that. A little bit more of a virgin energy, a little bit more of a shadow attribute, a reason for the fear of intimate union. But let's have a look at your tarot spread and figure out what's going on for this month with you guys, and who we may be dealing with. So the archetype is mentor, virgin relationship. We're dealing with a true love and some separation. So it may be a rocky kind of relationship that we're dealing with romantically. But let's see what comes up. Alright, here we go, Pisces. So the first card you have is Ace of Pentacles, prosperity, starting something new. And then we have the Chariot card, drive and determination, with the Chariot card also associated with Cancer. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, generosity. That's an interesting card to have there. Then we have the Eight of Wands, travel, someone's reaching out. And then we have the Five of Swords, conflict, but this is somebody who has regretted walking away, cutting their losses, and they may have done something a little harsh that when they were exiting. Okay, so then that may make sense as to why there's this separation, because the swords here is usually very uncomfortable. Five of Swords is usually like, you know what, I had to walk away from you. I had to turn my head and be like, forget it. I had to cut my losses. I had to cut you off. And I didn't necessarily like that I had to do that, but I had to do it. And now, there's some looking back on that. There's some regret. So Ace of Pentacles means this, let's ignite something. Let's start something new. I feel like some of you guys are going to be igniting some type of movement with another person. Or you guys may just be taking hold of your career or focusing on something that is going to build your lifestyle, like your health or your career. You're just trying to get your life together, get your stuff in order. So you guys are starting some new initiatives. Then, so some of you guys are very driven and determined. This may be because we're heading towards the end of the year and you're starting to plan how you want your next year to go. You're starting to feel like you need to be a little more generous with your time. Some of you guys need to be open with your heart, but like a lot of the time, I feel like some of you want to volunteer more, be a little more available to your family, friends in a charitable way. Share some of your resources, do some pro bono work, maybe make some donations. Some of you guys are feeling like you need to put some of that positivity out in the world in order to get it back. And some of you might even feel like you haven't been doing your share so far. And there's that sensitivity around it with the Chariot card being associated with Cancer, wanting to, make the world beautiful, essentially. We have the Eight of Wands here. This is telling me that maybe you guys are wanting to listen. Someone could be reaching out, yes, but I think that there's a lot of action here in what you want to push out into the world this month as it goes for relationships. I feel like you want to do other things so that you're not overly focused and you're not overly involved in your relationship life. Like you have other things going on, and whether you're in a relationship or not, that's probably the best thing to do. Because again, I'll tell you, like with the whole law of attraction thing, it's usually about the path of least resistance that manifests the easiest. Some people, they think about their relationships and being single and and then in the background their career is just going amazingly, like with no resistance at all. And you've got to notice these little patterns in your life. But I feel like there's like a lot of effort over here, but there's also some travel, some added effort over here, and there's some passion involved in this effort. So I feel like a lot's been going to be going on this month. I feel like, yes, generosity, giving, I guess that could be some Christmas shopping stuff going on, helping people out, helping people, just being kind to people, because it's a trying time right now. The Five of Swords really makes me feel like this is rooted in some type of regret for being harsh. Maybe this person's feeling guilty about their actions. That's why they're being so charitable. That you were dealing with in the past. This person could be a Cancer, very emotional, very moody, that you're dealing with. But I feel like you guys have some regrets and losses yourself. And that's why you're trying to put all this energy into something positive. I'm trying to make some positivity come your way, which isn't selfish. This is just what you do for humanity. If you want some love, you got to give it out there and it'll come back to you. King of Swords, we have ambition here. Somebody who's intellectually driven, who's willing to make executive decisions. Harsh decisions. Like, you know what? I always go with the shoot down that plane so it doesn't crash into a society of 100,000 people. Shoot down that plane of 400 people. It's a hard decision to make, right? Because you're determining 400 people's fate, but it's an executive decision. It's a hard decision, but it needs to be made. So you could also be dealing with an air sign, by the way, Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. I think this month mostly is about self-improvement, trying to get control of the things that happen to you. Some of you guys are doing the self-help thing, trying to make sure that 2021 comes in with a nice little bang, but I think that it doesn't come without some conflict and some making some tough decisions. Obviously, I do think that somebody in your life is missing you or wanting to fix their things, put their stuff together, get their affairs in order so that they can present themselves as a king when they come back and be. But for the most part, it feels like it's more of a if they want to mirror the energy that you're putting out here this month. It feels like it's a little more productive than anything. I think that you can be a mentor, or you can emulate your mentor or whoever. Like, basically, you're trying to get your stuff together so that you're not the same person that you are. You're somebody who's ascended, the ascended being of who you are right now. And so that is mentor energy, and that is popping your cherry. Popping your cherry like a virgin, and being somebody who, renewing yourself, being somebody brand new, like a virgin. Touch for the very first time. I feel like that's part of the journey of this whole true love thing, where you're on the verge of self-improvement. You're focused on other stuff like that, and in the background, your romantic relationship life if it's a past life connection, you come together at the times that you're supposed to, when you're developed in this way and they're developed in that way. And I feel like this is all part of that journey of development. So if you have any impulses where you're like, okay, well, I just feel like maybe going outside today, maybe I'll hold the door for this person even though I'm supposed to be 6 feet back. Maybe I'm gonna donate. I saw a video, some kid crying, maybe I'll donate, you know. Just following those impulses and until it ultimately leads you to this true love, or has you having this feeling. Because again, I'm telling you, you got to make an effort. There is generosity and making an effort there, whether that's in this exclusive relationship or just out there in the world, in order to create that energy in your relationship. It doesn't hurt to create it outside of it so that it has a home there, right? So if you want good things to come to you, you got to put good things out there, and that'll be your reading. Alright, so there it is. That's your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like a personal reading, please check out the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.